For this episode of the Shanghai Beat, I headed over to the world headquarters of neocha.com for a brief afternoon chat with the site's founders and some curiously strong Vietnamese coffee. Sean Liao, a Chinese American from Silicon Valley with a background in finance and IT and a passion for Chinese youth culture, the internet, and the arts. And B6, a local Shanghainese jack of all creative trades, being an established graphics designer, electronic musician, and producer, are two of four partners who started Neocha, probably the raddest new Chinese Web 2.0 site of the year. In short, neocha.com is an aggregator for all things creative on the Chinese internet. Through a centralized online networking platform, the site connects Chinese creatives, those being designers, filmmakers, musicians, fashionistas, digital artists, animators, writers, photographers, skateboarders, cosplay kids, etc., helps the not-so-creative find original creative works, and organizes events bringing Neocha users and interest groups together offline. But enough from me, let's hear more from Sean and B6 themselves. Also, after the interview, stay tuned for a musical performance by the local Shanghainese band Hard Queen.
From the general vision, I think it's always been pretty focused on creating a vertical portal that's focused on creative communities in China. It's purposely kind of vague because we didn't know what we would get back. You don't know what kind of subcultures or interest groups you'll get. And it's been interesting to see who has been gravitated to the site. This is our first time putting something together of this magnitude.
You make it perfect.
We're all perfectionists. We want everything to look perfect and work perfectly. We want to add in all these features. We want to make sure everything's very simple and easy to use. But that's just a struggle when you're building.
What is the main offering for users? What are they typically looking to do, and what kind of stuff can they do on this site?
I think there's two sides of it. One is a kid sitting at home, he's bored by state-run media, he's bored by the traditional offerings, and he wants to be entertained. So he goes on to Neocha and he can find content that he can't find anywhere else. And then the other side is the content creators, which is the artist, musician, photographer, etc., who wants to promote themselves, so they want to get their content out there. So they go on the site, they can put on a slideshow of their work, they can load up music, they can write blogs, they can publish events, they can create interest groups. It's the promotion side for the content creator, and then it's the consumption side from people who are just interested in creative communities. Our users are a little bit more sophisticated, highly educated. We're definitely looking at users who are interested in Wenhua.
How many users?
About 4,000 right now. It's a fairly sticky site. We know how much time people spend on the site. We know how many pages they view. And comparatively, they're higher than a lot of the social networking sites.
How about some of the demographics? Where's the draw coming from?
Changsha, Wuhan, Chengdu, Nanjing. We have a user from every province, maybe a third of Shanghai. Because we're here, right. We have events here. Beijing is probably where the biggest creative communities are.
And most of these people are Fairyland, right?
Right. 18 to 40. I mean, there are actually some older users.
What about gender?
I think actually a lot of the content, like the bands and artists, a lot of them are male, but a lot of the
groupies, you mean?
A lot of the groupies, but the fans, what I like to call the curators, because you know there's this participation inequality theory that 1% create, 10% are curators, so they tag, they comment, they vote, and then the other 90 are just lurk and look at stuff. The creators, a lot of them are male. A lot of the curators, who are extremely important, are female, and the other lurkers are probably some mix.
What kind of communities have emerged on the site?
I mean, you just have to think about it from the point of what can become digitalized. Obviously, music is one, photography is another, and the other is written. Graphic designers. We have a lot of designers, fashion designers or animators, visual artists, filmmakers, cosplay, Japanese subculture.
How exactly do you reach out in terms of marketing or anything that's surrounding events?
There's some media that, and then also we leverage BBS quite a bit. We know which BBSs will be interested in stuff that we're doing.
So like internet word of mouth kind of stuff.
Yeah, we use, I mean, that's mostly what we do. At our launch event in April, one of the interesting things is the majority of the people who came, like 10,000 people who came, and we expected maybe 1,000. The reason was it was from 1 to 9. People came at 1, and then by maybe 3, just text messaging their friends. So that just kind of built, and so by like 5 or 6, that was when really like a lot of people came, including media that we didn't invite. You know?
Our space is very changeable. You know how to arrange your page we can make it really like professional.
我们那个页面的那个模块设计上面就是非常自由化，你可以做很简单的调整颜色，安排你的布局，你想把这个东西放到 player 放到这里都可以。所以我们的网站应该是最方便的。我们的概念是一块地方，然后我们会开发出很多 plugin， 以后我们的 plugin list 会非常长，你可以选择很多不同的。
那现在呢有吗？
现在已经有很多，
比如说
一些基本的什么 blog 啊，什么 banner， 或者是。因为现在我们有2种不同的风格，以后可能会有第3个加入那个 urban 的模式，还有2、3个不同的 slideshow，
还有活动群组，还有一个
评论
自由贴，就是那个是 HTML 的一个编辑器，你可以放任何一个 HTML 的东西，选一个 widget 放在里面。
我觉得终极的目标是把这个东西做成一个你可以做一个网站，不用受任何控制。当然，你不可能去掉你有强的 logo。
Right, of course.
We'd love to open it up so that all these little modules, somebody could make it themselves, and then it can tap into our social graph. You can pull it onto your page and use it for whatever a user can think of. That way, people get more involved with the website.
Oftentimes, outside of China, people criticize the Chinese for not being terribly creative or not having any innovation. How do you look at that kind of criticism?
我其实蛮同意这点，这是真的，没什么创意。我觉得这是有原因的，主要是因为在中国主流的媒体都比较垄断、受垄断，它不是一个竞争性的行业，它是一个垄断的行业，主流的媒体。所以说，普通的老百姓他不可能接受到这种文化感，就是他平时就看不到，所以无所谓，他也不知道什么叫创意。但是真正有创意的人，往往都是那种在地下的，他们没机会受到就是主流媒体的报道。
And part of what you guys are trying to do,
exactly what we're trying to solve is that.
还好现在有网络，但是网络也不是特别理想。现在网络这块东西也被垄断之前，尽量做得更好一点。
Traditional media, they're just not very interested in what might be going on in organically Chinese creative. And we're trying to give a voice to that, but also one of the big hypotheses behind Neo-Cha is that these creative communities are going to become more influential on mainstream culture. A lot of that is because this generation is just starting to get, it's cool to make original Chinese content and people will really enjoy that.
将来我觉得Neo-Cha还是会主要是着重于大城市，这是没有办法，因为将来我觉得年轻人。 中国会2极分化的非常严重，就是你在大城市，你接受的文化不一样，会就整个人的感觉，或者是整个未来就会特别2极分化。
Chinese government and the Chinese people know they've had this cultural deficit where they've been importing movies and music and cultural content for the last 20 years. But they know that China traditionally has been a huge exporter. You know, Song Dynasty, Ming Dynasty, China was exporting all its culture. And so they want to reverse that just because politically it's soft power. And also China has a lot of pride in itself. They want to be able to become a cultural exporter. To do that, you need original creative content.
我觉得现在的地下也许未来就是主流。我们现在不是主流，但是当我们成为社会的主流人群的话，那我们的文化就是主流。我就希望有更多的年轻人也喜欢这类文化，关注这类文化。那我觉得这个就不是问题，就时间问题。
It's already changed, so I think the same thing is just going to continue to happen.
Can you walk us through some Neo-Cha original content?
A web magazine called Blow Up.
Comes out quarterly. All of it is 100% original content. All the copy is written by our guys. All of the design is done by B6. All the music is from bands that are on Neo-Cha.
And we can also start our new pop.
Yeah.
The first issue is introduce 10 different post-rock bands in China.
Every week we have 3 feature articles, one on music, one on visual arts, and one on events. We have news updates that we bring all over the web that are related to the creative community, so we have a news section.
We want to make some short funny movie.
Yeah.
It should be funny and it should be original and creative, but not be too cheesy. We are not funny enough.
The reason that we're focused on offline events, one, it's really easy for us because these people are already doing stuff, they're already holding concerts, they're already having exhibitions, they're already organizing something that you can make an event around. Another reason, just because we believe that any successful social network needs to be complemented with an offline presence. You need to be able to meet the person that you met online, especially for a vertical niche social network, because one of the trends is people moving from the big general social networks to smaller portals or smaller vertical networks. It's not just about, oh, I added 20 friends today, I'm feeling happy. It's more like, this is what I'm interested in, I'm going to be continually going to this site, I'm going to meet this person at an event.
第一次就是4月14号在那个福斯站做的那个创意市集，应该是最成功的一次，大概1万个人，80多个团体参加，9个乐队。
Some of the other events, just real quick, are MIDI Festival. We helped organize the Mini MIDI, which is the experimental stage. There's 100,000 Chinese kids who come to that every year. Since then, we've done, I think, 3 music festivals where we've either helped with the promotion or we've done a creative bazaar. We were the official website for the Lijiang Snow Mountain Festival. We hosted all of their content, all of their bands, you know, all the music. We've done a couple salons of our own users just getting together and meeting up offline. And we're always trying to think of new events that we can do. One, obviously increase our users to be a premium brand or meeting point for creatives in China, and also for people outside of China that are interested in creative communities here. Our own record label, making money.
我其实希望在网上做一个所有的 label 的集合，还有一个希望是在网上能够为那个 indie label 提供那个直接网上购买唱片的那个，也许我们被 block 掉，也许。
I met up with this episode's featured band on the south side of town at an underground bomb shelter turned communal rock and roll rehearsal space, locally known as The Basement. The Shanghainese 2-girl, 1-guy indie pop trio Hard Queen, or Yingnu Wang in Chinese, performed their newest song titled We Don't Care, a track that will be included on their first album out early next year. So we look forward to that, but for now, I hope you enjoy the performance. Thanks a lot.
我严肃一点。Steady, steady, get on the cargo. Walking to the place that no one could find us. Contact is we're on the road. Everything's copacetic, we will be fine, girl. Looking for a cool hat to love and going steady. Game over.